Hello, my name is Sam and welcome to another video talking about Tapforms 5 for iOS and Mac. Today we're talking about archiving entries and we're going to do something a little different. We're going to build a solution from scratch in this video for a CRM. We haven't done that yet, so this will be kind of fun. Cornelius here posting about his CRM for his photography business. He's got a form for the clients, a form for jobs, and then there are some employees that interact with folk at his job. I did a basic suggestion here of where did that go? You know what? Apparently reader mode is not my friend today. Client to job, and then team member to client, and then this team member thing basically becomes a link for three form. I said join. Really, probably should have been linked to form setup because it's not a join; it's a one to many. To basically link everything together, you put the metadata in there, and then you extract out everything from there. So let's get started with our basic setup. We've got our CRM category here. So let's create a new form in CRM. And I think we already have, do we have a clients? No, we don't, but let's just say CRM clients. We'll just name that field name, client name. Actually, let's be client name. Now, one of the things that I don't do consistently, but can be helpful to you, especially when you're working with link to form fields, is being a little more specific about your field names and including a reference to the form, in this case, client name for the CRM clients. Now, we could have made that name, but the downside there is obviously that when I go into a link to form use case, I'm not necessarily going to be able to see what name means, especially if we use this for calculation fields, a few other things. So it ends up being ambiguous, and I think if you looked at one of my previous videos, you'll see that the names all become jumbled together. It becomes a little hard to keep track. So we're going to start this out on the right foot. We're going to call it client name. We're going to add another form for team members, I think was the other one we had there. Team members, and I think we're going to delete this for the moment, mostly because this is just going to be our link to form field. We're going to link items into it, and let's rename that to be CRM team members, so that's nice and specific. We're going to do CRM jobs, and I don't know, job name, and then we need, okay, let's see, where are we at? Client to job, we've got our jobs form, we've got our client, so let's link that up. So we're going to do a new link to form field, link to form to CRM jobs, and that's going to be a one-to-many, and we're going to tick show inverse relationship. And then we're going to do from for the responsible team member at your client is a link to form from team member to job. Make sure you tick that. Team member and contact details. Okay, we need a contact details. Let's do wrong plus button. CRM contact details. You know, we already have a number of these. Actually, do we have, is contacts? You know what? It's gonna kind of weird, but we could just use that. But we'll create a new one. Name. We'll create a phone number field for phone number, a website field for website, an email field for their email, and what else do we have here? Maybe now we could do a contact field, I guess, but I don't like that. Or a location field, I should say. Mostly because they're kind of weird types, but you know what? Maybe I'll do a location. And we'll just change that to the address. Because then we can put in like one infinite loop. Cupertino, California. If I click on that, then that gives me one infinite loop. Oh, they model. Oh, that looks really weird. They modeled the arch over the thing. Okay, save. Let's say Tim Cook 555 555 5555 apple.com and tim.cook at apple.com. Actually, I have no idea what Tim's email is. Obviously. So that's our contact details. We need to link that to our team members. So I'm going to create a link to form field here. Link to form. That's going to link to our team members because team members have contacts. And then that's going to be one to many. We're going to hit show inverse. And you know what? I'm actually going to do one other. And we're actually going to link it to link to form. We're going to link it to the clients as well. CRM clients, one to many. Boop. And that can be, we'll rename that. What we're going to do is actually hide these two fields. So it just becomes this contact details. We don't see where it's linked to because we want to actually intentionally link this from somewhere else. And then this person can be linked to multiple clients or to multiple jobs, right? So if we go look at the contact details, we can just rename this to be primary contact. And then I can select in client name is Apple. These are their jobs and their primary contact is Mr. Cook. And then when I look at a team member, we can do the same thing for contact details are there. We link the team member link to form to the team members. So that's this other link. Let's put primary contact there. So we've got our jobs, we've got our team members that we're going to link in. We only have one, which is Mr. Cook. So that's nice and easy. And so then we can see all of the team members. When I look at the team member record for Mr. Cook, we can see that it links over to his contact details. So that's good. And then last but not least, we need to link from jobs to team member. So that one's actually going to be a link to form, one to many from team member to job. So team member to job, one to many, show inverse relationship, and then now we could do this. Actually, we could do this really interestingly. The job, if there is multiple people there, we could actually pivot that and change that from a one to many to a many to many, and that would mean that for our job we could select multiple people, but we're only going to collect one. The other really cool thing about this model is we can potentially work backwards to automatically set the team members that we want to do based on that sort of primary contact sort of concept. And now we say macOS High Panther photo shoot. And then we can put whatever the collateral are against that. Now, if Tim happens to move, Now, one of the things we wanted to do in here is CRM is confusing with contact entries that are no longer active. So what we need to do here is we've abstracted the contact details for Tim Cook, the person. So right now we're dealing with Tim Cook, the team member of a particular client. Let's tick show inverse relationship. So we can see that the contact is Tim Cook. His current client is Apple, and so this is his Tim Cook Apple record. And these are both the show inverse, these link from form fields. So now we add into the team members a checkmark field for if it is active. And let's put that somewhat nearish the top. This is a little unwieldy because we are seeing a bunch of duplicated data. Funnily enough, because the client's one is set to 3 fields, it was actually including the primary contact information, which included all of that Tim Cook. So let's just set that to 1. And then when we look here, we can see that we only have Apple as the contact, which is good. That's what we want. We have the contact details for Tim Cook. Let's actually go through and do one minor change, which is show title on the field. Can I? Let's do this on all of those. Apparently, I can't show the title for the... That seems like a bug. But anyway, so now that I go back to jobs, not jobs, clients, we've got Tim Cook phone number, so it's nice and clear what that is. When I go back to team member, again, we've got the phone number listed there, so it's nice and obvious. And when we have, there's one other place. So we've got Apple here, so let's click on that, and we don't have the option. Feature request, I think, coming in to be able to set the title for those. So we've got all of this set up, and we know Tim, he's been at Apple for a couple of decades now. Maybe he decides that he's going to create his own next step in computing history. So I'm going to say next, we're going to set the primary contact now to be Tim. And we're going to need to create a new team member record, because what we have here is a team member at Apple. Now, this is where this model sort of falls over, because this only allows us to select that single item, and it's not, I mean, we can go create one here and link it back, but it's not as conducive, right? It doesn't easily give us that history that we kind of really want here. So, and it also doesn't take into account whether it's active or not, right? Like, I can add Tim Cook at next here. This isn't a great model, right? So what we're going to do to solve that one is we're going to create a new calculation field. And in this calculation field, what we're going to do is client key is we're going to create new a join of the client name. This is from our CRM clients client table, and you can see here again why having that is somewhat useful. And then we're going to add in active, and we'll hit save on that. And we do need to go back and make one other change. We need to make sure result type is a text. Forgot to do that. Okay, client key Apple/0, and this one is Apple/1, and you'll see that this is already kind of weird now, because we linked two things to the one. So what we actually want to do is where the CRM team members is, we're going to hide that because we still need the field for the link to form so that we can create the team members and manage the team members. But what we actually want to do, or start doing here, is a join field. So we're going to go down here and we're going to do a link to form, and we're going to make this a join. Current team members. And what we're going to do is select our team members, and then we're going to use entries from. We'll need a calculation field as well for this, which is calculation. Change the field type. Yep. Team key. Client team key. And that's going to be also the client name, and then a 0 /1, I should say. And that's going to be a text, and we're going to hit save. And then the join key on here is going to be client team key from this field to client key in the other one. And so what that should eventually do is, when we go back to team members, we can change. This one is our next. So next/0, and then this is Apple/1. We can say this is active. And then when we go back to here, and we can hide our calculation field, we can see here's our list of jobs, and here's our list of current team members. If we toggle Tim Cook to be inactive, he's going to disappear from this list. Now, because this is a calculation joined on a calculation field, adding a new record isn't going to automatically work properly. That's a quirk of because the calculation field essentially defines the join syntax. That data needs to be created. So if you use the plus buttons here, you'll end up with an empty record because the join data just isn't there, because you need to go in and select the details and the contact details. So that is the quirk of using the join field, but we can go here and just say Brendan 55555555556 and tapforms.com, support@tapforms.com. Calgary? Brendan, where do you live? Calgary. Very good. Calgary, Canada. Canada. Okay, so Brendan is now also an Apple employee, so we can hit active on that, and then when we go back to clients, we can see current team member is Brendan, and then if we have a look at next, we don't have any current team members. We do need to go over here and then say Mr. Cook is now active at next. And then behind the scenes, Tapforms is automatically managing that. Now, this is, I grant you, a little clunky. Perhaps, with some scripting, you could go in and look at this. But that's how we can solve some of this sort of no longer active, somebody who's at multiple companies, and then go from there. Now, the only problem with this is when we look at our team members list, it's got everyone in it. So Tim Cook at next, Brendan. Obviously, in this case, we've already got Tim Cook Apple selected. I don't have a good way of filtering this to be able to select this, but ideally with this sort of a setup, you can quickly identify who you're working with, where they are. You could also add to this list if they're active or not, which we can do. We just set the number to 3, and then actually we just put this on top, and then for the field we set it to show the title. So now when we go into the jobs, we can see we've got the active thing there, but we can see active, yes, and then I can type Brendan. No, why can't I type Brendan? Oh, is it because it's keyed off of that first field? Okay, well, let's put it in the second spot. How bizarre. Why does search not work? Okay, so what we might need to do here is another trick, which is calculation field and team member name. And then the calculation field is a text field, and we're actually going to grab the name out of the contact details. Let's hit save. Flip side of this, and then we can set this to 2. Active, yes. Let's put that second. Okay, let's jump back to jobs. There we go. Brendan works. So I think that search didn't work because the name was actually coming from the linked form, so it didn't actually retrieve that. So that's a quick little trick to basically copy the value of the member name field. We don't even need to, I think, have that at the top. We can probably hide that if we wanted the link to form values to formatting to sort of take hold. But we just copy that in. I think that's probably good enough. If we needed to, we could add the phone number, whatever else we want to search for this record on. And I think that will work to basically be able to manage team members for different places, provides an active flag or not active. Obviously you can create then a safe search here for active, yes, to filter out only those people who are active at various companies. Similarly, if you wanted to sort by the company, you could then use the calculation field to add the company name. Bunch of other small tweaks we can do to this, but I think for the moment that's roughly how I would look at some of this problem. Obviously room for improvement for quality of life there, but it does allow us to create an interesting bit of modeling, join the jobs to the current client, figure out which team member is currently working on which project, probably add a date started, date finished for the job so that we can do safe search on that, filter that out, and that also then gives us the ability to abstract away contact details, so we're only updating that once. Ideally, we want to normalize our database to make sure that we're not duplicating data. Hopefully this meandering journey of creating a CRM was interesting for you. If it was, give me a like, leave a comment on what you liked, what you didn't like. If you didn't like, obviously you can also click that thumbs down button. If these videos are interesting to you in general, these are usually fed from topics on the forum, so post on the forum if you've got questions, so everyone can help solve your problem. If you want to see more of these videos, hit the subscribe button. If you want to know when they go live, hit that notification bell, because I don't really have a schedule. It's just sort of when I get time and when things are interesting. And then I will see you on another video. Happy Platform Scene.